Hey guys, Gary J here, and today I'm talking about the Proline Point Blank Carbon 41 hunting bow. The Proline bow company came out about 1970, went to about 2005. They made excellent hunting bows and they made excellent target bows too. Now this one again is point blank bow right here, and I'll show you the limbs on it right here. And maybe you can read that point blank, and then that's carbon 41. They were coming out with carbon in the limbs right here, and this was all high tech back in '93. That's when this bow came out, I think '93. And so it was really supposed to be the beginning of the super bows, the fast bows. And the cam right here is oval, but it's not extreme oval like you would find in the newer bows today. And these were adjustable from like, I think I've seen from 50 to 80 pounds, from 50 pounds to 80 pounds. So you can imagine one of these at 80 pounds with about a 65% let off. And so they were pretty strong. And I've shot this one over the years a good bit in the past. But, and these bows were designed more or less for speed, and they came with an overdraw system like this right here. So your arrow rest is way back here instead of here. That means you have a shorter arrow, which is lighter and faster and a stiffer spine. And I've got a video on this particular overdraw and why they came out with the overdraws, okay? But it made a much faster bow, and that's one of the advantages, in, especially in hunting, and more kinetic energy with the stiffer spine. But this one has like a 13.1 ounce neutralizer, stabilizer, hydraulic stabilizer, which was really the big thing back in the 90s too. I have an aftermarket front sight here, which is not that good of a front sight. It creeps on me. But I had the original sight for the Proline 2, which is a whole different beast. Okay, now this is the original Proline sight for the point blank bow. Now this is another older bow of mine, the Pearson Renegade Target, which came out in the 90s too. And this was an expensive bow too back then. And so looking at this sight right here, we see we got Proline written here. So it was made for that. And these right here, this was before fiber optic stuff, okay? So they had these pins right here, and they painted them different colors, which, you know, you can see why they would paint them to give them this fluorescent look to them. And on the other side right here, and see, this is what it looks like in the front. It's just a rectangle box, and you have all of these knobs right here. Look at all those knobs. Each one of those knobs move one of these pins. At the very top, you see the pink one, then you see the orange one, then the green one. And then you see some with halos. Those two with halos on them. I like looking through the halos, and these are the halo ones. They have the pin in the middle. I think somebody ought to come out with that on the single pin sight. Put a halo, if they haven't done it already. But these knobs over here, you loosen these right here, and you can slide these up and down. So like this one right here is 20 yards. The next one below it's 30, and then 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, all the way to 100 yards on this site. Okay. So to get your right and left, you have this knob right here, and you got one identical to it at the bottom. You loosen these right here, and you can push this to the right or left, and that moves your center line. This is actually like monofilament, like fishing line right here, okay? So you can slide it right and left to get your right and left and up and down on your sights for your yardage. And it works really, really well, and it stays in place too. So that's a pretty neat thing. And this was all high-tech stuff back in the day. Can you imagine it? And that's why I kind of like the older bows and stuff like that, because they were just really so neat in one way. And look how far we've come today with technology and bows. So I just want to show you that too on the sights of the Proline. But these bows are still very accurate. If you shoot them enough, you'll find they're extremely accurate bows. And they last forever. These are like 30-year-old bows, and they still shoot. I shot a group at 50 yards with this one the other day, just practicing with it. And my group was like 1 inch wide and 2 inches tall. And that's at 50 yards with this one. And the target bow here is even more accurate. But it shows you that these bows, they seem to last forever, and they're great bows. But I just want to show you the Proline in case you come across one. They're great bows to have. Thanks for watching, guys. Gary J. Okay, guys, shooting the Proline point blank bow at 20 yards. A bow from the early 90s. I think I got everything adjusted on this bow. I gotta cut this little piece of string off right here. I can't tell where that hit. So, arrow number 3. About 1.5 inch from dead center. And then arrow number 4. Dead center 4. Thought I adjusted that pretty good. But anyway, this is what we look like at 20 yards. Vertically, I'm perfect almost, vertically. So I got my right and left on my sight done good. And my grouping right here is like 1 inch right here, which is, it's not bad. We have it in the circle here. So that's pretty good. That's 1.5 inch circle. Okay, guys, gonna be shooting at 30 yards now. 3 arrows. Sight picture was dead center, perfect. That's what I saw was the sight picture. It's perfect. So now, second arrow. My bang was a little crooked on that one. I'm trying to straighten it up. Man, I've got to cut this little string because it's covering up my sight. That's the only thing I hate about this. The spline rest does not hold the arrow. Okay. The sight picture on that one was dead center. That means what I saw was dead center. I don't know where it hit. All right. Gonna fix that after this shot. All right. Okay, I'm telling you, this bow at 60 around 60 pounds, I think. It's only like 10 feet slower than my Stinger Extreme 2021 bow by PSE. So let's see where we're hitting here. Hit 30 yards. All right. So at 30 yards. Now these two arrows right here are almost touching each other right here, okay? So they're still in the bullseye. That's a 3-inch bullseye, so they're like 1 inch off, I guess. And this one shot a little bit high, but it's perfectly vertical. Now, you see these are silver gold tip arrow, and this is a black gold tip. It's a different arrow, and I think with my black arrows here, they shoot just a tad higher. I try to get them the same weight and all, but shooting the Proline point blank bow at 40 yards. See where that hits. I've been readjusting my sights. Okay. One more shot at that. I don't think that was too bad for 40 yards. Let's try 50 yards. At 50 yards, I'll go to my next pin. Let's see if that sight is right. I don't know if that sight's right or not, but we'll try it. Arrow number 5 at 50 yards. That was 50. Here's a 60-yard arrow. It's like to me, 50 went to the right a little bit. The arrow spine is not strong enough on these. So. Okay, one more. Number 9 arrow on this one. Sound like that one hit high. Oh, let's go with a number 8 arrow. Number 8 arrow at 50. So number 8 at 50. And one more arrow, 12 at 50. Okay, let's get my ruler here. All right, with this group right here, even though it's not dead center of the target, I've been adjusting my sight. It's the group that's important, not where it's hitting, but the group. Now, at 50 yards, arrow 9, 6, 12, and arrow number 8. These 4 arrows right here are shot at 50 yards. 50 yards, okay? So at 50 yards, our group is about 1 inch wide and 2 inches tall. So 1 inch by 2 inch group at 50 yards. All right. What does that tell me? Well, at 50 yards with the Proline point blank bow is very accurate if you can hold it there. Now, it's not easy to hold it there. So, I mean, that's really good. At 50 yards, you're not going to take a shot more than 50 yards at a deer or moose or whatever, I don't think, for most people. So, the Proline, even though it's 50-year-old bow, it still shoots really good, and it's adjustable from 50 to 80 pounds. I have it at 60, and it's about 10 feet slower than my new Stinger Extreme PSE bow that I bought. So, don't count out the old bows. Now, these two right here, arrow 4 and 2, below that, that's at 40 yards, okay? And that's about 2.5 inches apart at 40. So I shot 40, and then I went to 50 to these right here. Now, that's actually a 50-yard shot, too. That was my first 50-yard shot right there, and I just pulled that one off. And a lot of people, you know, think you got to buy a bow every 2 years, 3 years. Bows last forever, friends, for the most part. At least the old bows do. And I've got the Target bow, Ben Pearson Target Renegade bow, and it's very accurate, but it's a Target bow. It's not a hunting bow like the Proline. Proline was #1 as far as being one of the best hunting bows for that time. Shoot your Proline. You know, when you get a chance, it's fun. It's a different beast, though, shooting it than your new bow. Newer bows are like a Ferrari, and the Proline's like a old Volkswagen. But if you play with it, it'll do the job, no question. Thanks for watching, Gary J.